Okay, welcome back. You're still watching Good Morning Ghana. We're coming to you live from our studios here at Metro TV. We have something very interesting to talk about today. As we get ready to head to the polls, there are lots of issues cropping up. And we also know the role the IEA, I'm talking about the Institute of Economic Affairs, the role they play in managing the country as well. And so this morning, I have with me Karen Hendrickson, who is the Director of Programs and Advocacy. And I also have a very interesting young man. I'm sure you remember him when he appears on your screen. I'm talking about Nati Borax in the studio. We are going to talk about something new from the camp of the IEA. So good morning to you.
Good morning.
How is everybody doing today?
Yeah, wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful.
I can tell from the smile on your face.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so let's go straight to the point. Let's talk about the IEA. Briefly, what's the work of the IEA?
The IEA is a public policy think tank here in Ghana. It was the first to set up. It's over 25 years old, and we provide quantifiable statistical data based on research on policies relating to governance, politics, and economics, with an aim to furthering and improving the lives of all Ghanaians.
Okay, so let's introduce the hashtag I Want To Know campaign.
Yes.
Tell us about it as well.
Okay, as your audience probably knows, that the IEA has been holding presidential candidates debates since the year 2000. And this will actually be our 7th set of debates that are coming up. And we wanted this year to make a concerted effort to include all the average Ghanaians in the process. So we've launched the I Want To Know campaign with the idea that if the average man and woman on the street had a chance to sit in front of the candidates, what questions would they ask? And so we've launched the campaign, I want, hashtag
I want
to know.
Okay.
And this is what we will be showcasing in the multi-city campaign that we have. And in fact, this is for you this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is lovely.
Yes.
As you can see, well, I'll put it on right after the show.
Yes.
Okay, so Karen, now tell me something. You talked about bringing issues involving the Ghanaian public, involving everybody to be a part of this elections, as to asking questions. If you give me the opportunity, or you give, let's say, the layman outside, you give them the opportunity, say, okay, if I have any of the presidential candidates on board, what question would you like to ask them? So you are doing this by involving the entire public. You want everybody to be a part of it.
Exactly.
You also mentioned that you are going to introduce the multi-city campaign.
Yes.
So where precisely are you going to be?
Excellent. We are going to be rolling this out through rallies in Kumasi, Accra, and Ho.
Why are you not covering the entire country?
Okay, the reason we're not covering the entire country is because it's so close to the first debate, and also there's not enough of us in the team that I work with to cover the entire country.
So in this
However,
case, if we're talking about time factor, I'm sure you could have arranged this earlier, so you are able to cover the entire country?
Well, actually, we probably could have if the idea had come to us in enough time.
Okay.
It was like a brainwave that came less than, I guess, a week and a half ago, actually.
Wow.
And we're rolling it out. But thankfully, to media like Metro TV, the multiple of radio stations across the country, we are going to use that as well as the social media to reach to as many people as we can. But I can assure you, next election cycle, we will start much, much earlier.
I think that's a good idea. It's a very good initiative.
Exactly.
So tell us, where you mentioned Kumasi, I mean, of course, Accra, and where else?
And Ho.
And Ho.
And Ho, yes.
Okay, so how do we get this message out?
Okay, well, we're going to be using, as I said, the various media. In Kumasi, we are going to be right in the markets, the main market in Kumasi, and we'll be there on Friday and we will have posters, T-shirts, as well as Nati Borax, who will get our message out. And with the use of media, we are going to use that as, and of course, flyers.
So how do I send my question? I mean, for people, for the sake of viewers out there, how do you participate in this? Okay,
you can participate by a multitude of ways. Text, Facebook, Twitter, straight telephone call, or even if they just want to send a letter in to the IEA. All of those methods. And on our literature, all the hashtags, etc., will be there, like hashtag Iea Ghana, hashtag I Want To Know. They just have to do that. But if somebody isn't comfortable with the social media platforms, they can just pick up the phone and call any of the lines we have, and somebody will take down their question.
All right, since we can't get everybody converging at one place for the debate, how do you get their questions out for these presidential candidates to answer? Are you going to shortlist them, like you have a number of people?
Yes, we have a subcommittee, and that's their role. We've been collecting questions for several months now that have come in from civil societies, business people, and so forth. And the questions that we get from the hashtag I Want To Know campaign will be coming with those questions as well. And that committee will sit down and select a series of questions that will be asked of the presidential candidates in the debates.
All right then. So let me engage Borax. How are you doing?
I'm blessing you.
I'm very well. How are you involved in this campaign? Hashtag I want to know. How are you involved in it?
Yeah, she said it all, but it's amazing. The idea also just came to me, I think, last month ago. Okay. And because I realized that music has a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool and has a powerful way of spreading the message across. So I thought it wise, and I deemed it necessary that, since we are going to the polls, why don't I compose a song on election? You know, and the idea just came in, and I started with a composition. And this song actually, addresses issues of, unemployment, address issues of sanitation, national issues of corruption here and there, okay? And it's a call on all politicians to, rise up and serve in the best interest of the people who elected them into power. And so, my prophet Aaron Apiaje of Hope in Christ Ministry in Pokwasi, one prophesied to me that, I've seen you working with partnering.
And here you are today. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, partnering
with
what's
the song?
Mr. Politician.
Mr. Politician.
Yes, tell us your vision.
Before we leave, you're going to give us a few lines. I want to know, you give us a few lines before I don't know if we have a video, but when we're about to go, we'll be able to show the videos to our viewers out there. So, precisely, we're talking about getting everybody involved, taking part in this election. Of course, we're preaching peace as well, maintaining and sustaining the peace that the country is enjoying at the moment is very important. And so with this, I have one question that I have been asked to pose to you, and I'd like to know, the NDC refused to partake in the debates. How did your outfit feel about that?
The question that they've refused to participate in the debate is not a question that I am completely aware of. My understanding, given that I wasn't with the IEA in the 2012 electoral process, is that at about this same time, it was this still unanswered question, will they or won't they? And so based on my understanding that this has happened in the past, and we all know that all the main parties were represented when the debates actually rolled around, I am assuming and hoping and trusting that the NDC as the ruling government will join in the debates, because we have quantifiable evidence that millions of Ghanaians are waiting to hear what the people who want their votes have to say. And they need to hear and see it firsthand for many of them to make a decision. So, and politicians are very shrewd people, and they understand at the end of the day that the electorate is the one who is going to choose or not choose them.
Yeah.
And if the electorate is asking to hear what they have to say before they make a decision, I know our politicians will do what's in the best interest for all Ghanaians.
Okay, so before we leave, we are getting ready to wrap up. Before we leave, I'm sure you have heard of the numerous promises being made by these presidential candidates. What do you make of that? Well, somebody said one man, 5 wives, and that's... So what do you make of that?
I haven't heard that one. I must say that one is new. But again, the IEA is a research think tank.
Okay.
So when we are faced with questions, we first try to verify, then quantify through hard research before we just speak off the cuff. It's you know, that's how we run our organization.
Okay.
So until like a manifesto or a document is produced, and then if in there it says, you know, about the 5 wives, etc., then we start doing some research, and then we'll have an answer for you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So what are your last words for us, Borax?
Yeah.
We'll be showing you a video as well, so...
Okay, well, before we get to the post, yeah, okay, let me summarize it. The song is the message, and the message is in the song. So when you listen to the video, I mean, you watch the video and listen critically to the lyrics, you get the message. But my last message to the viewers out there, especially all the youth activists of the various political parties, they should not allow themselves to be used as a tool for violence during and after the election.
Okay.
They should abstain from any form of violence.
All right.
And also the politicians should know that politics is not all about insult. Therefore, they should eschew politics of insult.
All right.
And then tell the people about their visions. And it's up to the electorates to decide whether to vote
who they
for them.
want to be their leader.
Simple.
Based
So,
on
Karen,
issues.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
based on issues, you're right. So, I don't know, maybe we left something during our discussion. In the course of our discussion, you can bring it out. Your last word.
What I'd like to say is that I am encouraging all Ghanaians out there to hashtag I want to know. Let us have your questions so that at the debates, the politicians can have an opportunity to answer those questions.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Kumasi this Friday.
Kumasi this Friday.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about hashtag I want to know. You can get involved. We are all Ghanaians and we want to get involved to make things right. But now let's take a look. I have been speaking, before we leave, let me tell you once again, I have been speaking with Mrs. Karen Hendrickson, who is the Director of Programs and Advocacy from IEA. And I also had Natty Borax in the studio with me. I'm sure when the video starts playing, you'll be able to remember him very well. So let's take a look at the video.
Humanity music, positive vibration, free on meditation. It's the politician, tell us your vision, so we could know all of your intentions. It's the politician, tell us your vision, so we could vote for you in all this election. It's the politician, tell us your vision, so we could know all of your intentions. It's the politician, will you tell us your vision, so we could vote for you in all this election. It's not time for election, and the people of this nation want to know your vision before they make a decision. There's too much separation, anger and starvation, and all me see everywhere. It's a destitution. Let me ask you a question: with your plans and intentions, so better believe in condition of the people of this nation. Tell them all intentions, but we don't want deception. We want lasting solution to change the situation. So it's the politician, tell us your vision, so we can know all of your intentions. It's the politician, tell us your vision.
Africa doesn't need strong men, it needs strong institutions.
Just a politician, who don't have conscience. Let us send my version, change your perception. On all corruption, build strong institution, devoid of politics and discrimination. Let me ask you a question again. Why all of this notion? under the wicked and the opposition. So now go listen them contribution. This my plea and suggestion. Let's give peace a chance this election. Cause we no want guns in our nation. So we want no matter political affiliation. Hey, you Mr. Politician. It's time you let your people feel the affection. Hey, you Mr. Politician. You've got to stop the bribery and corruption. Keep on saying, Mr. Politician, tell us your vision, so we could know all of your intentions. Mr. Politician, would you tell us your vision, so we could vote for you in all this election? Big products and musicians, this is my session. So Mr. Politician, listen, we rock that tension. We need quality education and not a job creation and more domestication and a legacy for the next generation. Mr. Politician, tell us your vision, so we can know all of your intentions. Mr. Politician, tell us your vision, so we can vote for you in all this election. That's why we want to know all of your intentions, so we could vote for you in all this election. That's why we want to know all of your intentions, so we could vote for you in all this election. Mr. Politician, this is from corruption. Mr. Politician, born all corruption. Mr. Politician, you need some meditation.